Today, I am going to talk about the stereochemistry of disubstituted cyclohexane. Now, in disubstituted cyclohexane, we have to discuss, first of all, 1,1-disubstituted cyclohexane, if both the substituents are present on the same carbon atom, or 1,2-disubstituted cyclohexane, that is, two substituents are present in two different atoms. So, in that subpoints we have to discuss either these two groups related with each other is 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, then 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. If the two substituent, that is two methyl groups, are related with 1,4, then it is 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. All are having geometrical isomers. So this 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, in that there is a cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane and trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So in 1,2-disubstituted cyclohexane, we have a geometrical isomers. But in 1,1-disubstituted cyclohexane, it is not possible to have the geometrical isomers. Now the different terms used in this one. The beta, the meaning of beta is the bond is going in an upward direction. So remember, beta is not axial. Beta is the bond is going in a upward direction. So it can be either axial or equatorial. Alpha, the meaning of alpha is bond is going in a downward direction. The meaning of that is it may be axial or it may be equatorial. So don't get confused between the beta alpha and axial equatorial. These two terms are different. Beta, the bond is going in the upper direction. So it can be either axial or equatorial. And the same is true for the alpha. Now, first of all, we'll discuss with the 1,1-disubstituted cyclohexane. So this is the planar ring. In that planar ring, the two substituents are there, X and Y. They are present, both the substituents are present on same carbon atom. So we call it as a 1,1-disubstituted cyclohexane. As you already discussed, that 6-membered ring is stable in chair conformation. So we have drawn here chair conformation. When you are going to draw a chair conformation, always remember, first of all, you draw these two lines parallel, that is 5-6 number bond and 3-2 number 2-3 bond. These two lines has to be parallel, and then you complete the chair in upper direction 1 and in lower direction 4. Now the X, now in this chair structure, X is facing in the upper direction, so I have written this as a beta, and Y is facing in the downward direction, so written as alpha. X is now axial and Y is equatorial. So what is axial bond? Axial bonds are the bonds which are in the plane of the chair. And what are the equatorial bonds? So equatorial bonds are not in the plane of the chair, but they are on the periphery of the chair. Now this is the flip arrow. As you know, the cyclohexane ring, it is that a chair ring, flips into another chair, and whatever the energy required for the flipping of one chair into another chair, that energy is readily available at room temperature. So due to flipping, now this carbon number 1 going in the downward direction and this 4 number carbon going in upper direction. That is, this is the flip structure. Due to flipping, always remember axial bond changes to equatorial and this equatorial bond changes to axial. But the beta bond always remains beta while alpha bond always remains alpha. So due to flipping, the axial changes to equatorial or equatorial changes to axial, but beta remains beta, alpha remains alpha. So what is beta and alpha? That means it is the orientation of bond. Now, we already discussed that compound do not show geometrical isomerism. The reason behind is both the substituents are present on the same carbon atom. So you cannot have cis and trans possibility. Now, the second point possesses plane of symmetry. So if you pass the plane through 1 and 4, then there is a symmetry. So plane of symmetry is present, hence it is optically inactive. Now, whether this structure exists or this structure exists, it depends on the relative stability, that is whether this structure predominate or this structure predominate. That stability depends on the size of X and Y. If the size of X is bulkier, if this group is bulky, then it always prefers the equatorial position. So that time this structure predominate. If size of the X group is small, or if the size of Y group is bulky, if this is a bulky group, then bulky group always prefer the less hindered equatorial position, then this structure predominate. So if the size of Y is bulkier, then it occupies the equatorial position, then X is at axial position. So when this structure exists, if Y is bulky. When this structure exists, if X is bulky. So always remember, bulky group always occupy less hindered equatorial position. Now what are the different types of interactions? So for one axial methyl group, there are two butane-Gauch interaction. One butane-Gauch interaction counts 0.9. So 0.9 multiplied by 2, that is 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. If the presence of methyl group is, if the methyl group is there and that methyl group is axial, then there are two butane-Gauch interaction and that counts 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. If 1-2 relation is there, if the two substituents are 1-2 related, then if these two substituents either axial equatorial or equatorial axial or equatorial equatorial disubstituted ring, then always add one butane-Gauch interaction, that is 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. If these two substituents are axial, then they never interact, so need not to add any energy in that. If it is 1,3, if the two substituents related with each other are 1,3, then the different things EE, EA, EE, disubstituted ring. If this is the situation, then don't add any interaction, that is 0 kilocalorie per mole. Instead of that, if 1,3-AA is present, if the two methyl groups are axial with each other, then it generates in 1,3 diaxial interaction, and that time 3.6 kilocalorie per mole, that much energy we have to add during the energy calculation. If the two substituents are 1,4 related, then it may be AE, EA, EE, AA. They never interact with each other, so don't add any energy if the substituents are 1,4 related. Now let us first we discuss 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. In that first geometry we have to discuss, it is cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. Now this is a planar ring. What are the possibility? The orientation of both these two methyl groups, cis means they are in the same direction. So same direction, either it can be a wedge bond, both are the wedge bond, or it can be both are a dotted bond. So wedge bond means they are facing in upper direction. So I have written this is a beta bond. So again this is also a beta bond. Now the two substituents are methyl substituent and the relation is 1 and 2. So one position methyl group, another position is methyl group. So cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane in planar form we can write like this. or we can write like this. Both the methyl groups are alpha alpha. So any one you can write. Now let us draw this in a chair conformation. Now the same as we already discussed in previous example, that is this 6-membered ring exists in the chair conformation. Now the methyl group, as there are two possibilities, one this bond and another is this, that is one axial bond. Every carbon there is one axial bond and one equatorial bond. Now the bond which is going in the upper direction, that is a beta. So our methyl group, in first case it is a beta, so I have written CH3 group at beta position, that is here it is axially oriented. Now in the second case, again methyl group is what? Beta oriented. Now in this case what happens? For this carbon number 2, which are the two groups? This is one equatorial group and this is another axial group. But the bond which is going in the upper direction, now it is equatorial. So the methyl group that we have to place at the equatorial position. So what we have to write here? It is AE, that is axial methyl group. First of all, write down A for this, and then ethyl, that is this methyl group is equatorial, then write for this E. So we call this is a AE conformer. Now when it get flipped into this structure, so flipping is 1 is going in the downward direction, 4 is going in the upper direction. So with respect to that, you complete the remaining numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now due to flipping, what are the changes? Axial methyl group at number 1, it changes to number, it remains at number 1, but axial changes to equatorial. But that beta remains beta, that is bond facing in upper direction, it again remains facing in upper direction. What happens to number 2 carbon? Now number 2 methyl group, which is equatorial, after flipping now it changes to axial. Number 2 methyl group in first structure, it is beta, that is facing in upper direction. In flip structure, it again facing in upper direction. So it remains as beta only. Now, how to refer this, how to name this conformer? That number 1 is equatorial group, so E, and number 2 is axial group, so EE. Now, whatever the arrow I have shown over here, that indicate they are equally populated. What is the meaning of this equally populated? This structure having one axial group, in this structure also there is one axial group, in this structure there is one equatorial group, same here one equatorial group. So energy of both these two structures is same. Now look at this structure. This is a three-dimensional structure of the molecule. Now this is the chair conformer. This is the upper carbon of the chair, and this is the lower carbon of the chair. Now this methyl group is axial, that is this facing in the upper direction, and this methyl group is equatorial, that is this which is coming towards us, that is at equatorial position. And once it get flipped, so after flipping, now this carbon number 4 which is going up, and now this carbon number 1 going down. So this is now going in a downward direction. Now this axial methyl group changes to equatorial methyl group, and this equatorial methyl group changes to axial methyl group. Now what are the different types of interactions here? Now look at here, this is a axial methyl group. Whenever there is an axial methyl group, as we already saw, for one axial methyl group, there are two Buten-Gauge interactions. Which are those? Buten-Gauge interaction means 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this hydrogen, number 3 axial hydrogen causing interaction with this methyl group. Again, this is 1, number 2, this bond number 2, this bond number 3, and this is 4. So axial 5 number hydrogen again causing a interaction with this methyl group. So this one interaction and this is another interaction. So two butane-Gauge interactions are over here. So it is 1.8 kilocalorie per mole, which is another interaction. For equatorial methyl group, there is no interaction. But which another interaction is there now? This axial methyl group and this equatorial methyl group interact with each other by 1,2-AE interaction, and 1,2-AE interaction is 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. So addition of this, so total energy of this molecule is 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. So both AE conformer as well as EA conformer have the same energy, 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. Now optical activity. So optical activity, this is structure A, that is AE conformer. The mirror image of AE conformer is structure C. So mirror image A, that is mirror image of A is C. Now structure A and B, in previous slide we already discussed structure A and B are the flip structures. Structure A and C are the mirror images of each other. So these are the mirror images of each other. Structure B and structure C. What is B? B is the flipping structure of A. Structure B and structure C are one and the same. As you invert structure B, then they are super overlap. These things we discuss in next video. So A and B are flip structures. A and B are flip structures as well as they are mirror images of each other. As both are of equal energy, so it is impossible to separate or resolve them. So cis-1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane is optically inactive. Whenever we have to see the optical activity, first question we have to ask whether the presence of asymmetric center or not. Now this is for one asymmetric center. What is the asymmetric center? It should have 4 different groups. So look at number 1 carbon, 1 methyl group is there, 1 hydrogen is there, and this is CH2, 6 number carbon, that is CH2 group, and 2 number carbon is CH group. So for number 1 carbon, 4 different groups are there. So number 1 is asymmetric carbon. Look at number 2. Now number 2, CH3, hydrogen, this is CH2 and this is CH. So 4 different groups are there again for number 2 carbon. So number 2 is a chiral carbon. So both are asymmetric carbon. So for optical activity, first condition it fulfill that it is having a chiral center. What is the second condition for the optical activity? There should not having any symmetry elements. Now you can see there is no any plane of symmetry, no axis of symmetry. So the second condition it also fulfill, that is presence of 2 chiral center, absence of symmetry element. Therefore, now the third question, that is whether the resolution is possible or not. What do you mean by resolution? Resolution means separation of separation of dextro and levorotatory forms. So that is whether it is possible to separate these two enantiomers or not. If we are able to separate them, then that molecule possesses a optical activity. Again, first question, the presence of 2 asymmetric centers are there. Second number, no any symmetry elements. Third number, now here is the question mark. Can we resolve it? We already discussed in this slide that is the flip structure and the mirror images, they are one and the same. Because of that, A and B is the flip structure, A and C is the mirror image, but B and C is the same. So B and C, if it is same, then A and B, they are the mirror images of each other. If they are mirror images of each other, and again what? They are having the same energy, that is 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. Therefore, it is not possible to separate them, so it exists in an unresolvable DL pair. If it is unresolvable, then we talk it is an optically inactive compound. So though it fulfills two conditions, presence of asymmetric center, no element of symmetry, but still it won't fulfill the third condition, that is the resolution. That's why it is optically inactive. Now you can see this video how there is a magnetic structure B, that is the flip structure of A, in which this methyl group is equatorial and this methyl group is axial. So this is the flip structure of A, that is structure B. Now this is the structure C. C is what? C is the mirror image of A, in which this methyl group is axial when this methyl group is equatorial. So this is structure B and structure C. Now what we have to see now, are these two structures are same or not? So for that, I am holding this molecule and just instead of like this, just I am inverting it and going to super overlap these two structures. You can see both the structures are super overlap. That is equatorial is matching and axial is matching. You can see these two structures are super overlap, indicating what? These two structures are one and the same. So if these two are one and the same, and as the energy is also same, therefore then it is very difficult to resolve them or to separate them.